Why would anyone spend $25 million on something nobody can see you riding? This is not a James Bond prop. The personal submarine market is real, it's growing, and the newest entry-level models dive to 300 meters, deeper than most military vessels patrol on routine missions. $25 million buys a titanium pressure hull, a life support system rated for 96 hours, and access to ocean floor terrain that fewer humans have visited than have walked on the moon. Here's the counterintuitive part. The Spectrum Group Affluent Investor Survey consistently finds that high net worth individuals prioritize saving and investing over public displays of wealth. So why a submarine nobody can see?
The ocean floor at 300 meters is the last genuinely private frontier on Earth.
No paparazzi drone reaches it. No satellite images it. No social media post captures it.
The submarine is invisibility, purchased.
At 300 meters, water pressure reaches roughly 30 atmospheres, 30 times the force pressing on your body at sea level. Ordinary steel can withstand pressures significantly higher than 30 atmospheres before imploding. Titanium alloy absorbs that compression without catastrophic failure. But here's where it gets specific. The engineering cost isn't the point. The submarine is a physical argument, a proof of concept that the owner has moved so far beyond ordinary wealth that privacy itself became a purchasable commodity. Luxury real estate professionals have understood this for decades. True luxury isn't a price tag. It's an experience that can't be replicated by writing a larger check. The scarcity is the product. Exclusivity is what's actually being sold. According to Triton Submarines, one of the leading manufacturers, fewer than 200 personal submersibles exist in private hands worldwide, making ownership a membership credential to a club so small it has no name. Here's the twist that matters to the rest of us. The financial logic powering that $25 million purchase is the same logic available to anyone willing to understand how compounding and borrowing against appreciating assets to fund new investments actually work. Financial strategist Penny Power has long advocated a disciplined 50-50 investment split. Half of investable income to stable income-producing assets, half to higher growth vehicles, as a framework that compounds aggressively over decades. Let's kill a myth that has wasted decades of financial advice. Skipping your $5 morning coffee won't make you a millionaire. The math doesn't work at that scale. Frugality alone isn't a wealth strategy. What does work is consistent savings as a foundation. Not the engine, but the launch pad. Savings create the capital pool that makes investing possible. Investing is where the multiplication begins. Automation is what makes savings habits stick. Automated transfers to investment accounts remove the single biggest vulnerability in any financial plan: this human decision to spend the money before it gets invested. Warren Buffett is the most cited example of this principle in action. He made his first stock purchase at age 11 and has described the compounding of those early small investments as the foundational engine of everything that followed across 8 decades. Borrowing against appreciating assets is how the gap between a disciplined saver and a billionaire actually opens. A loan secured by existing holdings funds new investments without forcing a sale. Wealth multiplying in 2 directions at once. That submarine? It's not a consumption purchase in a billionaire's accounting. It's a depreciating asset that generates charter revenue, research partnerships, and tax treatment that most financial advisors would call surprisingly rational. But here's the question that cuts deeper. Is the submarine really about status? Genuine financial security is the actual fact of true wealth, not the luxury labels attached to it. The object signals what the balance sheet already confirmed. Researchers at the University of Cambridge's Wellbeing Institute found that extreme purchases among the ultra-wealthy often function as tangible proof of security. a physical object confirming that the abstract number in a brokerage account is real and durable. The real long game is generational wealth. Teaching financial habits to the next generation isn't a soft suggestion. It's the primary mechanism through which wealth survives beyond the person who built it. Financial literacy is the infrastructure that generational wealth runs on. The Williams Group studied over 3,000 families and found that inherited assets are liquidated within 3 generations in 70% of cases. The money survives only when the knowledge transfers too. Here's what genuinely surprises most people. The Spectrum Group survey found that saving and investing rank as the top priorities for high net worth individuals. The submarine buyer is the exception, not the archetype of how wealth actually accumulates. Compounding rewards time above all other variables. A 25-year-old investing $500 monthly at a 7% average annual return accumulates roughly $1.3 million by age 65, without ever increasing contributions. Remember the coffee myth. Here's the reframe. It's not that $5 is meaningless. It's that $5 invested consistently and automatically, compounding over 40 years, becomes something the coffee cup never could. The Submarine story is a masterclass in asset allocation logic. Every purchase at that wealth level is evaluated not just for enjoyment, but for its position in a broader portfolio, its depreciation schedule, its revenue potential, its tax treatment. That logic scales. A middle-income earner who categorizes every major purchase by its financial function, depreciating liability versus appreciating asset, is running the same mental framework, just with different numbers attached. According to NOAA, more than 80% of Earth's ocean floor remains unmapped at high resolution. The billionaire descending into that darkness is chasing the same sensation a first-time investor feels opening a brokerage account. Genuine unknown territory. Both require the same fundamental act, committing resources before the outcome is visible. James Cameron spent roughly $10 million developing the deep-sea Challenger before his 2012 solo dive to the Mariana Trench, the deepest point ever reached by a crewed vessel. The index fund investor makes the same bet on a smaller scale. Trust the system. Hold the position. 3 moves available to anyone right now. Automate a fixed monthly transfer to an investment account. Categorize your next major purchase as asset or liability before buying it. And teach one financial concept to someone in your household this week. Consider the Pritzker family. Starting with a single hotel near Los Angeles Airport in 1957, they automated reinvestment, categorized every acquisition by its asset function, and passed financial education alongside capital to each generation. By 2024, the family's documented net worth was estimated at around $3.5 billion across multiple branches, compounding across 67 years. So back to the original question. Why spend $25 million on something nobody can see you in? Because at that level, being seen is no longer the point. The point is having already won the game that everyone else is still learning the rules of. You don't need a submarine to play the long game. You need a savings habit, an automated investment, and the financial literacy to know the difference between a status symbol and an asset. Start there. The depth becomes irrelevant.